Good morning, dear students. Hope you have gone through the first video and you have understood the meaning of physical properties of metals. In continuation to that, today we will be discussing few more properties of metals, that is density, melting point, boiling point, tensile strength, conductivity and sonority. Density. What does this word mean? Density. Density is mass upon volume. Mass upon volume means m upon v. This m upon v means mass, that is measured in terms of grams and volume, as you all know, length, breadth and height including. So what we observe is metals generally they are denser in nature compared to non-metals. But there are exceptions to this, like sodium and potassium, as we have already discussed that they can be cut by knife. That means they are having less density than the other metals. Next property is melting point and boiling point. As we are saying that metals are denser, that means their density is high. That means they will take more time to melt or to reach their boiling point. And that is why the melting point and boiling point of metals is very high, except few metals like mercury and all. They are existing in liquid state. Due to that, they are good conductors of heat and they expand in nature. Okay. The third property is tensile strength. Tensile strength means load bearing capacity. Load bearing capacity means it is able to hold weight of any object. Like you can see the buildings they are made up of, or the pillars of the buildings are made up of iron rods in that, and then the concrete is filled. The basic structure of the pillar is made out of iron and in that we fill the concrete. Why we use iron? The reason is they have high tensile strength. They can withstand the load of the building or they can withstand the weight of the building. Similarly, iron is used for making the bridges. Again, you all know that bridges are widely used for transportation purposes, or a lot of heavy vehicles are moving across these bridges. Then also they are able to sustain because of this property, that is high tensile strength. Even if it is in a string form or in a wire form, then also you will find it has high tensile strength, due to which it can hold lot of weight. So what we have discussed, density of metals is high. Second property, they have generally high melting point and high boiling point, and they have high tensile strength. Understood? Now coming to the next property, that is conductivity. So conductivity means they are the conductors of heat or electricity. Why they are able to conduct the heat or electricity? The reason is their metallic properties or the particle arrangement. As we all know that solids are tightly packed. So when the current is passing or when you are heating any object, suppose I am heating an iron rod with the help of a Bunsen burner, then you will find that the heat will spread from this end to the other end. That implies that the particles, when they absorb the heat, they transfer this heat to the next particle, and this next particle passes it to the next one due to their vibratory motion. So they are the good conductors of heat. Metals are good conductors of heat. Similarly, if you will connect a piece of metal in any electric circuit, you will find that it is able to conduct the electricity like copper or aluminum. They, as I have told, they are highly ductile. So these wires are used for electric circuit purposes, making the electric cables or electric wires. There also, due to the passing of the electricity in the form of electron movement, they are good conductors of heat and electricity. Clear? The last property, that is sonority. You must have heard the bells ringing in the churches or in temples, and the most favorite bell which you love to hear frequently is your school bell. So what is this bell? Actually, one metallic piece is hitting against the another metal piece, and then they are producing this sound. This ability of producing ringing sound when any hard object is struck against metal is called as sonority. So what will be the definition of sonority? When any hard object is hit against a metal piece, it produces ringing sound. That property is known as sonority. Metals are generally sonorous, and that is the reason why we are using these metals in making the strings of the musical instruments. And even the bells are made up of metals. Clear? So these are the 5 properties which we have discussed earlier. We have discussed about the state of metals. So state of metal, they are generally solids. Exceptions are there, and all the metals are very hard. Then malleability, all the metals are malleable. Exceptions are there. We have already discussed about the exceptions. Then ductility, and today we have discussed about density, melting point and boiling point, tensile strength, conductivity of heat and electricity, and sonority. Hope you have understood this. Children, please go through your book. In that there is a table of physical properties. Read it properly. As we have already discussed the physical properties of metals, what are the basic things that are known to you? Now, physical properties of non-metal. First of all, we will talk about state. So, non-metals, generally they exist in all the 3 states: solid, liquid and gases. Right? Oxygen, nitrogen, they exist in gases, and then bromine and other, they exist in liquid form, and carbon, that exists in solid form. Now, hardness. Generally, non-metals are not very hard. They are brittle in nature. That means if you hammer them, they may break into pieces. So that means they are not hard. Third property, that is luster. What is luster? That is the shiny appearance of any material. This shiny nature is not observed in case of non-metals.
Here you can clearly see that this sulfur powder is non-lustrous. And in second slide you can see that iodine is lustrous. That is the exceptional case.
Malleability. Let us revise. What is malleability? It is the property due to which a metal sheet spread metal piece spreads into sheet. That property is not seen in case of non-metals. That means non-metals are non-malleable. Right? So, fifth property, that is ductility. Ductility, as you all know, that is drawing wire out of the metals. So here also we cannot see this property in case of metal. As I have just now told you, they are brittle, they may break. But there are exceptions. Example is carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is the fiber which we obtain from carbon. So this carbon fiber is showing the property of ductility. Otherwise, non-metals are non-ductile. Clear, children? Coming to the density. Density of the non-metals varies. They are not denser like the metals. But there is one example, that is diamond, that is allotrope of carbon, allotrope of graphite, you can say, that has high density. Right? Diamond has high density. Then the next property is melting point and boiling point. Non-metals generally have low melting point and low boiling point, melting point or boiling point. Then tensile strength. Again, non-metals, they are not having this property of high tensile strength. They do not show the property of tensile strength except carbon. Carbon has high tensile strength. Carbon fiber is used for different purposes where we need this tensile strength property. Okay. The last property, that is conductivity. Conductivity, that is the heat conductivity or electrical conductivity. So generally non-metals are non-conductors, or you can say insulators of heat and electricity, except graphite. Graphite is an example which shows that it is a very good conductor of electricity, or you can say graphite conducts electricity. If you take pencil and you insert in between this electrical circuit, you will find that it will conduct the electricity. So today what we have studied? We have studied the physical properties of metals and physical properties of non-metals, that is state, hardness, luster, then malleability, then ductility, density, melting point, boiling point, tensile strength and conductivity. Do read the chapter thoroughly and go through the page number 40. Page number 40, you will get the differences clearly. Try to understand it. If you find any difficulty, you can ask me in our next class.